let's go to Liliana.
Liliana, you've been waiting. Thank you very much.
Hi.
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 What can we do for you?
I'm calling regarding an tenant landlord situation.
Okay.
I have a situation where I have a rent contract. I live in a home. It's a duplex. It's a home divided into two, so it's my family in the front, and there's a separate family, a separate unit in the back.
Is it a legal duplex?
Not too sure because the situation has to do with the utilities. I have a rent contract which states that I pay my utilities, but it doesn't specify which utilities, in what manner or nothing like that. So what's been happening is I have the utilities under my name, and the family that lived in the back, we used to just split it. We used to have to get together and just basically split the utility bill in half.
You know, how old's the building?
Excuse me?
How old is the building?
Very old. I live in Lincoln Heights in L.A., near Chinatown.
Oh, I know the area well. I'd be concerned whether or not that's a legal duplex.
Well, I don't know what to do because I did contact the LA City last year about getting my own meter because I'm unemployed and I do qualify for low-income utilities, but I can't. The water and power won't grant me because it's a duplex because there's two families here.
Okay, so you want to stay there, I take it.
I'm staying here, but right now the family that was in the back, which were, okay, we were dealing with this matter the way we were. The family just moved out. And now my situation is getting worse because now the landlord is using utilities as freely as she wants, whenever she wants. My situation with her is not great. And
okay, well, you can...
And I've already verbally told her not to.
Liliana, whose name is the utilities under?
Mine.
Okay. So whoever else is using the utilities is using them free or at your expense. You're paying the bill for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay. What can she do about that?
Well, you can notify the landlord in writing that you're entitled to have your apartment and only pay your utilities. It's the landlord's obligation to figure out cost-wise and how to do it in terms of the allocation, paying to get their own meters, doing those kind of things. It's not your obligation to do that. You rent the place, and you legally only have to pay for your own utilities. Or you call the utility company and tell them that you don't want any power, water, or electricity in the unit behind you because you don't have to. It's paying for you. And I notify the landlord.
You think the utility company would come out and separate out the
I don't think
service?
they could. It's not
Turn
possible.
it off.
I've tried. I've been here for 9 years already.
Wow.
And we were in good terms before, and I had the job, and I didn't really mind doing it. But now I'm unemployed, and now it was never fair because the family in the back was always a bigger family than me. They had a five-member family, and I only have 3 members. It was never fair. I'm so behind on the bill. The bill is very past due. It's very high right now, and she uses the water to water the grass, which I can't even come near.
Older buildings in L.A. were sometimes, even apartment buildings, were sometimes made with only 1 meter in them. Because I can remember those times that we were involved in them. There's got to be some way of allocating the utilities, and I think it's the obligation of the landlord.
I guess the issue.
I think so too, but I called the Alley Housing legal aid, and
no, you don't have to do that.
To inform the landlord in writing, which I did.
You can
but I gave her a week to respond, and it hasn't been a week.
Okay, so then you can sue the landlord in small claims court for the amount of utilities that's not related to you, because
what about what's owed? What about the outstanding balance? Because the family
how much was it? How much was it a month?
The outstanding balance.
How much was the amount?
Right now, the bill right now is like around $1,900.
A month?
Around there, yeah. No, around $1,900 altogether because it's backed up. It's been backed up for months.
Okay, well you can sue in small claims court for $7,500. So you can sue.
What was that?
You can sue in small claims court for $7,500. That's the limitation of the jurisdiction.
What about withholding rent? Can she withhold rent?
Probably can withhold rent too.
Maybe you could withhold rent, Liliana. You said you contacted legal aid, is that right?
I contacted the city 2 years ago, and then I did again last year, and I requested an inspector to come out here and handle this matter because I didn't know what to do. And just recently I called them again, and they said they just closed the case. They never let me know anything.
Liliana,
But they
here,
did close the
Liliana,
case.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
You said Lincoln Heights? Is that actually in the
Yes.
city? Is that actually in the city of Los Angeles?
Yes, it is controlled by the city here.
Okay.
There is a rent ordinance here and stuff like that.
Okay, so if it's in the city of Los Angeles, you could call the city rent control office at City Hall, tell them what's going on, tell them that you're overpaying your rent as a result of this utility situation, tell them that you'd like to get that taken care of right away, and see what they can do for you to get that changed. And also, under those rent control laws, which they're going to be familiar with, you might also ask if it's then possible, since it's the landlord's responsibility, to legally, under that rent control law, withhold some or part of your rent. Because that way you can take that portion of your rent that you would otherwise pay the landlord and take that and start paying the utility company so they don't at least turn off your utilities.
That's a good solution.
You might be able to do that. And if you
So
can...
you're not talking about the rent stabilization place, right? Because I already called them and they didn't help me.
How long
You're
ago?
talking about the city rent control office at City Hall.
Right. That's right.
It's not the same thing, right?
Right. And
Okay.
there's a city, and at the city attorney's office, there's also a section of the city attorney's office that's devoted to topics like this. And that's what you should ask is, one, whether or not you can legally withhold your rent, because you don't want to get an unlawful detainer to get kicked out of there, I gather. And number two is how you can get it separated out. And hopefully that should help you.
Yeah, I want to get it done also before a new family comes. And actually, I had that question also. If a new family comes,
We're going to have to move on.
do I have the right to shut off the utilities on?
You can turn off your utility. You're paying for it. You can turn them off
But I'm going to be left without utilities also.
You can turn off your utilities anytime you want to. Since your utilities are coming to you and you're paying for it, you can turn them off. But you're not going to have any heat or water. What I would
Hypothetically, a new family moves in. I shut off all utilities. Does the landlord is obligated? Is she obligated to turn them back on?
Landlord is obligated to make sure that in an apartment that there is heat, that there is water, that it's free of cockroaches, and that it's inhabitable. But there's nothing like suing them in small claims court, getting a judgment, and then suspending their license. Because you can suspend the driver's license if the judgment's over $750. So
okay. And why is the amount you're mentioning $7,500?
that's the maximum you can sue for in small claims court.
That's what?
That's the maximum amount you can
okay.
sue in small claims court. Well, try what Jameson said, think about what I said, and call us back in a couple of weeks and let us know what's happening, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Liliana, good luck.
Bye-bye.
Some weeks ago, we talked all about this, no texting, no using the cell phones driving. Here's a recent case, even worse than that stuff we've been talking about.
Really?
A woman was painting her nails as she was driving
They've been doing that for years.
and killed somebody.
Oh, God.
And she was
Oh,
convicted
geez.
of homicide, vehicular homicide, because she was doing her nails at the time. It's probably going to go to state prison. So it's really disgusting why people are not using hands-free, why they're texting, why they're shaving.
Putting makeup on, putting eyeliner on,
but
all that stuff.
Doing their nails, and people are dying over this. I mean, it would seem to me that we need to do something more about it than we're doing now.